Normally when I do My Hero Ultra Impact videos, I do not have a face cam like you guys are seeing right now, but I felt like this video deserved the face cam, okay? Because there are some really good things coming to the game, and then some really, like, in my opinion, bad things about this update, and I was hoping for a lot more. So I'm probably gonna start the video on a negative note, and I'm gonna explain the bad things to you guys, and then I'm gonna get into the good things that are coming, okay? Because I wanna end the video on a positive note. So if you don't wanna hear the negative, skip past this part of the video. But here is the biggest negative thing I can say about My Hero Ultra Impact right now as a game. And that is 3 words: no new content, okay? The worst 3 words you can hear for a game that you want to survive and thrive. They are adding, okay, granted, a new Climax battle with All Might as the enemy, which is like cool, awesome. We love more endgame content, but there is no new content. There is no event arena. There is no arena changes. There is no VE tower changes, which we haven't had consistently, by the way. There is no news of a club festival for the anniversary, which sucks, okay? There probably will be, maybe eventually, I would think, but no news of it, at least as of right now with the update. No news of any new in-game content, no new case files. There's nothing, like, even the pre-existing content they already have in the game, they're not doing anything with it. So why do I care about summoning for characters when the only thing I can use them in is Climax battle? That's somewhat entertaining. Because PvP is still there, don't get me wrong, you can use them in PvP, but why do I care? It's the same thing it's been for 3 years. They have not touched PvP for 3 years. It is insane to me, okay? That they just don't want to improve their game. They don't want to add new content to the game, and their content in their minds, I guess, is the characters. That's great, but why do I care about the characters when I have nothing to do with them? All right, they need to add some, like, you know, I want to compare it to Dokkan Battle, some end game content where you have like Super Battle Road, Red Zone, whatever, or maybe like Fairy Tail Fierce White, where they have the Perdition Palace and you constantly climb through it. There's like so many floors and you can just go on forever. It's insane. There's so many other gacha games I could compare My Hero Ultra Impact to and give you examples of end game content that you can play that's interesting and is constantly changing, but My Hero Ultra Impact just doesn't have that. We have Climax battles once in a while. We have reruns of Climax battles. New ones come around very unfrequently, right? And then, like I said, VE Tower just doesn't exist anymore unless they feel like it. Club Festival, same thing, doesn't exist unless they feel like it. So it's just like, oh man, we need some content. We need some endgame content. So I don't know what to do at this point. I really, like, I have supported this game. I have been like the #1 supporter, #1 person making videos for this game for the past 2 years, right? And I'm at the end of my rope. I'm at the end of my rope, guys. That's weird to say. Like, can I keep playing this game if they're not gonna listen to the players? They're not gonna listen to the feedback. They're not gonna support the game, essentially, anymore. And they're just gonna put out characters for money? It feels bad. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Okay, that's just... I'm at a loss. I'm at a legit loss, you know? If someone sees this from the company and wants to reach out to me, more than welcome. Through Discord, email, whatever. If you guys share this with them, tweet them, whatever, I don't care. Go for it. If we can get content in the game, I'm here for it. But, you know, I don't know. That's where I'm at. Let me know your guys' thoughts on that down in the comments. Like, I just want more content. I want to be able to play the game. I want to enjoy the game again. I don't just want to keep playing the same old Ultra Arena. My opinion, though, for new players, yeah, it's probably great. Like, it's new, but it will get old eventually, right? So if you've been around for a while, you would know we need content in the game. Now, with that said, I'm going to move on. That was my little rant. That was my complaint at the beginning of the video. And we're going to talk about all the new stuff coming to the game. There is a lot of good stuff, right? It's just not really content. Content, I guess, in their minds, once again, comes in the form of characters. The only new content we're getting outside of the characters is a new Climax battle. So we'll start by talking about the login bonuses for the anniversary and stuff like that, and we'll talk about the missions and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and move on to the better stuff, to the better side of things. So starting with the upcoming gifts, we are getting some TV anime release celebration recruit tickets, which we have been getting every week, which is nice. Those tickets are very, very nice. I think they have been very generous with the amount of tickets they're giving us for free summons and stuff like that. Like that part of the game, they're doing fantastic, okay? Hero gems, we're getting 100 for the 3rd anniversary. We are getting 50 hero gems for maintenance. We are also getting more anime release celebration recruit tickets. These are on different weekends, right? So keep that in mind. And then another 5 here. And then we are also getting some 3rd anniversary recruit tickets, which are different from the TV anime release celebration recruit tickets, okay? 2 separate banners that they're used on. So keep that in mind. But typically with the anniversary or the anime release recruit tickets, do not spend them on singles. Save them for multis. They will always give you enough for a full amount of multis if you complete the missions, you do the login bonuses, stuff like that. So don't use them on singles on accident. They're also giving us a bunch of coins, which is nice. 333,333 coins to celebrate, of course, the 3rd anniversary. So not bad overall on the gifts coming up. We also have some raid up campaigns starting. So we are going to have a main quest, normal and hard raid up campaign. That's where you're going to be able to get your ability board items to work on your characters to get them to board 13. That is going to be ×5 drop rates on the 25th up to the 26th. So this upcoming weekend, make sure you're logging in, completing normal and hard quests to get those ×5 drop rates, because those are going to be very, very nice for you, of course. And then we got another ×5 on the 1st through the 2nd. And then we have another ×5 on the 8th through the 9th, okay? Those are the only raid up campaigns that really matter. The hero base ones, the dispatch ones, the VE tower ones, they're like, okay, not really anything that are super, super crazy or worth mentioning. So the main thing is log in for those weekends. That's when these happen, is on weekends, to get your main quest drop rates up, to get your items that you need for ability boards to get your characters to board 13. And really quick side note, besides the upcoming login gifts, if you guys want more 3rd anniversary recruit tickets, I kind of mentioned this before, but make sure you are completing the missions in the game. There's going to be a bunch of missions, and those missions are going to give you anniversary recruit tickets. So you want to make sure you're completing those. Check out the missions tab in the game if you haven't already. That way you can get those free recruits. It is up to 100 recruits for the anniversary, which is 10 multis, which is pretty nice. So we do have some information on the All Might Climax battle finally, okay? So we're going to be talking about double S difficulty mainly because that's the one that people are really going to struggle with to clear. I will, of course, do a guide for BAS in one video and then double S as its own video, okay? So make sure you guys check those out when they come out. I might also potentially maybe be doing something with Tokaza. We've kind of mentioned it, talked about it. I don't know for certain what we're going to do with the Climax battle, but maybe like a race or something like that. So that might be something to look forward to. Let us know in the comments if you guys would like to see that between us. But yeah. Okay, so All Might traits has immunity to skill sealed, confusion, burning, bleeding, paralysis, binding, fear, meat lump, and stun. He's basically immune to everything. Cool. Has action skill damage down, power down immunity, buff block immunity, bullseye, and tranquility. Tranquility is a new skill in the game, and we actually have a couple of new skills in the game besides tranquility. Okay, so keep that in mind, and I'll tell you guys what they all do right now. They are going to have new icons. So the tranquility icon looks kind of like a pair of glasses, and what tranquility is going to do is it's going to prevent receiving critical attacks, and it's also going to prevent inflicting critical hits when attacking, which is interesting. Okay, so he can't receive critical attacks. He also can't inflict critical attacks. Okay, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. We also have some other ones. I'll just read you what these are. We may talk about them later when we get to the character kits for Deku and Bakugo. But Nitro is also going to be a new thing that we have, or a new status element. And so what Nitro is going to do, at current level X, a counter that increases when various conditions are met and gives various effects relative to the current count. We are also going to have something called Symbol. Current level X, a counter that increases when various conditions are met and gives various effects relative to the current count. And we also have a plus ultra up effect, which is going to be a new status element coming to the game, and that is going to decrease the amount of plus ultra gauge consumed when using plus ultra move by X percentage. Okay, so we'll probably talk about those more with the other character kits, and we'll see them when we get to Deku and Bakugo. I imagine. I haven't read their kits yet because I want to react to them live with you guys, so we'll see when we get there. Continuing on with All Might, one of his temporary buffs is cancelled after he receives 2 plus ultra moves. Okay, not bad. Gives max HP down to all of his opponents every 1 turn. This effect cannot be nullified or cancelled, so he is negating Celebration Yayurozu right there. Gives a skill impact down, defense down, and fatigue to all of his opponents that are ABL and int type, so don't run. Apparently ABL or int type characters, if I'm reading that right. And fatigue, yeah, don't run those characters because you don't want defense down and fatigue, so don't run those two. Every time his HP falls to a set amount or lower, a new phase begins, and his behavioral patterns change, just like every other Climax battle. He will become invincible when transitioning phases. During his last phase, he gains the ability to make a last stand. Oh, that's so annoying. Okay, until he receives a set number of plus ultra moves. Oh, that's gonna be annoying. Fun to play though, fun to play, a little bit annoying. Main skills, gives himself skill impact up, defense up, and piercing shots. Gives himself skill impact up, speed up, defense up, and piercing shots. Gives himself plus ultra move impact up, action skill impact up, skill impact up, piercing shot, and the ability to overwhelm. He's just gonna hit like a freight train. Deals damage to a single opponent and gives himself skill impact up relative to his own speed. So the more speed he has, he's going to do more damage. So if you can negate his speed, maybe he'll do less. Cancels a single opponent's temporary buffs. Deals damage to a single opponent and gives himself power up, speed up, and defense up, which are temporary buffs from my understanding right there. So you want to, basically what it's looking like is remove temporary buffs from All Might and lower his speed. And he won't hit as hard, is what it's looking like. If the opponent is using a barrier, gives himself piercing shots and recovery block to all of his opponents. Yeah, so don't use barrier characters. Solid. Deals damage to a single opponent and cancels his temporary status ailments. Deals damage to all of his opponents and gives them recovery block. Gives himself piercing shots. Deals damage to all of his opponents and gives them recovery block. Gives himself the ability to use a barrier. Gives himself piercing shot. Switches all of his opponents with backup characters. Okay. Gives himself piercing shot. Deals damage to opponent and cancels all of their temporary buffs plus ultra move. Gives himself piercing shot. Deals damage to a single opponent and gives himself power up, skill impact up, action skill impact up. Cancels all temporary buffs of all of his opponents with his plus ultra move. Okay, so he's just going to be doing a lot. So from what I'm seeing, I think you can run a character with Pierce because he's going to be giving himself barrier. So you should run a character with Pierce from my understanding right now, along with a character who can remove status ailments, along with a character who can reduce speed. Those would be your three main characters, I think, at the moment. Okay, there's plenty of characters who can do those things, so maybe start putting together a team to strategize based on that. I do think he's going to be a yellow enemy, at least the one you get from the Climax battle is yellow, so he should be yellow. So you can build like a purple team, and I think that would work out pretty well. And then his skills, Symbol of Peace, reduces their own action skill damage by 50%, gives them power down, immunity, buff block, immunity, bullseye, and tranquility, cancels one of their temporary buffs after receiving 2 plus ultra moves. Okay, interesting. And then I don't read Japanese, so I have no idea what the #1 hero effect is down there. But yeah, that's something. So All Might Climax battle, I feel like that kind of helps prepare you guys for him a little bit. Maybe put together a team based on those recommendations right there. But now let's take a look at the rewards you get for beating this Climax battle. Okay, so let's start by taking a look at the arts. We got the character arts for All Might. Honestly, for a Climax battle character, not the greatest. Not the greatest. Okay. I feel like the art could have been better. Let's continue. Plus ultra move, Rocky Smash, deals 700% damage to a single opponent. When character symbol count is below 8, character symbol count increases by 1 when you use the plus ultra. Also increases the skill impact by 60% when HP is 80% or higher. Nothing too crazy so far. It depends on what symbol count does. Action skill 1, Michigan Smash, deals 400% damage to a single opponent and decreases their power by 35% for 3 turns. Gives character the ability to cover allies for 2 turns, so he's a tank, and a cooldown time of 3. So that's not too bad. Cooldown looks okay. Ability to cover, not the craziest like damage wise though, so hopefully he's just a really good tank because he is doing single opponent targeting here, not multi opponent targeting like other meta characters. So far, I don't know how I feel about him. Action skill 2, power to help the people, or power to the people, sorry. Cancels 3 of temporary status ailments of all allies, increases their power by 45% for 3 turns, and increases their plus ultra gauge by 30%. So really decent support there, giving power, giving plus ultra gauge, canceling status ailments. Now, the thing about canceling status ailments is like, it's not, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of canceling status ailments so much as I am of nullifying status ailments as they happen, because this means like your ally can be stunned and you have to wait till the next turn to be able to use this action skill to actually remove that stun, and you still can't do anything with that character that turn until the following turn. if you know what I mean. So it's like, it's not great. I'm not the biggest fan of, you know, canceling status elements with an action skill. If it was on an auto skill, like after taking so many hits, then it's a little bit better, but it's not the greatest. Character symbol count increases by 1 when character symbol count is below 8. So you can increase symbol count with the action skill 2 and with your plus ultra so far. The auto skill 1 is called Pillar of the Nation, gives character tranquility, and that once again means you can't hit a crit, they also can't hit a crit on you, and increases character symbol count by 8. Okay, up to 1 time. For every 1 symbol count, increases max HP by 8% and defense by 4%. Interesting. So that means at the start of battle, he gets a symbol count plus 8. Does it get removed at any point? It doesn't say anywhere that it's going to remove it. Okay, up to 1 time. For every 1 symbol count, increases his max HP and defense. So he'll be very tanky at the start because you're going to go 4% times 8, right? And he's getting a lot of extra defense. Turn 1. But my guess would be maybe it's a temporary buff that can be removed, and maybe that's how you would end up with a count below 8 for these other two, because it says when character's count is below 8, it'll add 1. But he's starting off with 8, so I'm not sure if I fully understand how this is going to work. It'll be interesting to see. Auto skill 2, Give and Receive, gives character the ability to cover allies when HP is less than 80%, increases defense of all allies by 30% when character is covering allies. That's kind of neat. When character is covering allies, decreases character's power by 20% and restores 14% of damage taken. So he does even less damage there, but he doesn't take crits, so he's a straight up tank. This is a tank All Might. And restores 14% of damage taken, so he heals as well, but only himself. Character symbol count is reduced by 1. There's the reduction. After 1 turn passes while character is covering allies. Okay, there's the reduction. We found it. All right. So it starts off with 8. So turn 1, he will be tanky. After turn 1, because he can potentially, you know, cover allies with his action skill, or if his health drops below 80%, he could be losing 1 of his symbol count. Okay, so I don't think it's going to be too hard to keep your symbol count up ideally, and hopefully he'll just be able to cover people like quite a bit, be either below 80% health or using his action skill that lets him cover allies, because that would be, you know, makes sense. So that skill right there will let him cover allies. 3 turn cooldown as well. You're going to be using it quite a bit probably, so you'll probably be covering allies quite a bit. Overall, as a tank, I don't know, does a tank have a place in the meta right now? Oh man, so many things to say. Okay, so we have been needing for decades, it feels like now, not a tank pro hero. Okay, we have Aizawa. Aizawa is probably still better than this All Might as far as tanking goes. That's yet to be seen. We'll see when we get him in game. My opinion though, Aizawa is the GOAT. Red Aizawa is absolutely insane. Really good tank for pro heroes. What we've needed for pro heroes, what I was hoping this All Might would be, was a support character for pro heroes. That is not what this is. So is he needed? As of right now, I think no. Can he be a good potential option in place of Aizawa as a tank? Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see. It feels like he's very similar to Fantasy Kirishima to me. And this feels like a dated unit already coming out, in my opinion. I feel like he has a dated kit in comparison to some of the newer kits. That's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I could be wrong. I would love to eat my words. When we get him in game, we'll find out. You know, we'll test him out, see if he's good, see if he's bad. That's what we always do. So we'll check it out and we'll try it out. But as of right now, I'm thinking this All Might might not be worth it. So kind of an L on the Climax battle, the only new content we're getting in the game. Hopefully the Climax battle itself is fun to play, but the character, in my opinion, I don't know if I really care to have him. That's just my opinion. I'm not even trying to be salty. I'm just trying to give you guys my honest opinion. So I don't know. We'll see. I will, of course, get him. I'll, of course, complete the Climax battle because I like completing the new content, but I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be good. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, let's move on to the new banners that are coming out and the new characters and memories. So let's get this out of the way right now. There is a bait banner coming out. It is a Climax Battle Select Recruit. Skip this banner. Do not summon on this banner. I don't care if you want Tokoyami. I don't care if you want Nagant. They are not worth it. You should not be summoning on these banners. You should be summoning on the Impact Fest banners for the anniversary, okay? So don't summon on this banner. Big bait. These characters are never going to be as good as the Impact Fest characters. Skip, 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 okay? With that said, let's talk about the new Impact Fest banners. So this year's theme for the 3rd anniversary, if you did not already know, is going to be steampunk. We are going to be getting a new steampunk Deku and a new steampunk Bakugo, as well as 2 new UR memories, probably 1 for each of them, right? So this banner will be starting tomorrow at the time of recording this, so very, very soon. And we're going to talk about whether you guys should pass or pull. Now, without even reading the characters, you're probably going to want to pull. They're going to be far better than Star and Stripe, and they're going to be better than that Climax battle banner, right? And these Impact Fest characters typically always tend to have an insane power creep, and they're going to be way better than the previous year's characters. So probably almost definitely a 100% pull. But now, as for the banner types, there are 2 different types of banners. This is one of them. The other one is a new banner for My Hero Ultra Impact. We have never had one before. It is going to be a step-up banner. I have a lot of thoughts about this. A lot of thoughts about this, so bear with me, okay? But this is one banner you can pull on. It's just a normal rate banner from my understanding. Now let's move on to the step up banner. Here is an example kind of how the step up banner is going to look, I think. So as you complete the step up banner, it looks like you get some, character pieces, some UR limit breaker fragments and stuff like that. And then at step 1, you get an SR or higher guaranteed. At step 3, you get a UR memory guaranteed. At step 5, you get a UR drop rate times 1.5, so that's that Impact Fest rate, and you also get 1 UR character guaranteed. So a guaranteed UR character is pretty decent. However, the catch is, and I want you guys to notice this because it's such a freaking bait, okay? 1 UR character guaranteed. That does not say 1 Impact Fest UR character guaranteed. So that does not mean if you get to step 5, you're getting Bakugo or Deku. You could be getting General Pool Green Deku, who is not very good, okay, to say the least. He's a really bad character, but you could be getting him. You could double up with someone really good like Compress. Hard to say, but you are not guaranteed these 2 characters on that 5th step. So I just wanted to point that out because it's going to be important for what we're about to talk about. Okay, so this is the step up banner rates. Shout out to Hydros for all this information on myheroui.com. If you guys haven't checked it out, go check it out. That's where I get all this information, as well as his Discord server, right? But here we have the pickup rates, here we have the unfeatured rates, and then here's the SR or higher rates, whatever. So let's start with the pickup rates. Okay, this is the big thing. So these are your 5 multis, right? You got 5 steps. So step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. And then same thing down here with the memories, okay? And your chances to actually obtain a UR character or memory. So this would be for your, when it says pickup rates, this would be for the new Bakugo, the new Deku characterize, or the new memories. You have a 0.7% chance to pull the new Bakugo or Deku on this step, okay? You have a 0.7% chance on this step as well. You have a 1% chance on step 3. You have a 1% chance on step 5. From my understanding, okay? Step 5 and step 3 are where you get the 1.5 times rates. Every other step, step 1, step 2, step 4, is not the normal 1.5 times rates. Okay, so in the past, whenever we did summons on Impact Fest banners, every single summon was an increased rate. Now, they're giving us summons where we don't have increased rates, and we have some increased rates mixed in. Is this better or worse? I don't know, because they have changed the cost of some of these summons as well. Okay, and I'll go over the cost here in a second. I don't know if it's better or worse. We'll have to I'll let you guys decide in the comments. I just want to put this out there for everybody to know, right? And for everybody to understand that we are not getting Impact Fest rates on every summon, from my understanding. Okay, so those are the Impact Fest characters and memories. Now for the unfeatured rates, right? We got our 5 summons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Step 1, 1.3%. Step 2, 1.3% on unfeatured URs. You have a higher chance to pull an unfeatured UR than you do a featured one. Okay. Step 3, you have a 2% chance to pull an unfeatured UR and only a 1% chance to pull a featured one. Okay. Same thing for step 5. All right. So keep that in mind as you guys are doing these summons. The Impact Fest rates are not on every summon anymore. Like they thought we wouldn't notice. I don't know. Okay, but here's the thing. Step 1 only costs 250 hero gems now, okay? So you're not paying a full 500 for a multi. So that feels a little bit better, okay? Step 2 costs your normal 500. Step 3 costs your normal 500. So let's say we were just trying to get to an Impact Fest rate summon. That is now going to take you not 500 hero gems, but it's going to take you 1,250 hero gems to get the increased rates. From my understanding, if I'm understanding this right, I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments, but that's from my understanding. So you can't just hop in and get increased rates anymore. You have to go 1,250 hero gems deep or 2.5 multis deep to now get increased rates, which is not great in my opinion. Okay. And then step 4 is discounted. So once again, this is the step 4 right here with the normal rates at 250. So step 1, step 4, discounted, 250. And then step 5, if you want the increased rates again, it is going to be another 500. Okay, so to get through all 5 steps, right, you are spending a good amount of money. You're spending roughly 2,000 hero gems to get through all 5 steps. That is 4 multis worth, but you're getting 5 multis out of it, quote unquote, but without the better rates. So is this better or worse? I don't know. I guess we'll see how it feels when we get into the game and feel out the banner and see how this new step up works. As of right now, I'm not the biggest fan. I don't know if I like the way they did this. I'm kind of salty about it. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like, I'm not even sure what this is right here. The SR or higher rates, multi 10th slot. So maybe the 10th multi, this is what it looks like. I'm not 100% sure on exactly how that works. If you know, drop it in the comments for other people to see. I'll pin it, but I'm not sure exactly how that part works right there. Okay. But from my understanding, I don't know if this is great. Okay. But with that said, now we can start talking about a little bit better stuff here. Let's talk about the new characters, the new memories. Hopefully it's better stuff. If I don't like the kits, I'll let you know. But this will be my literal first time reading them with you guys. So let's start with the memories and then we'll get into the characters. This is the new event memory. It is called Beyond the Sky. Increases character speed by 16% for 3 turns when used in a successfully executed skill chain. Increases character's power by 20% for 3 turns when used in a second or later successfully executed skill chain. Increases character skill impact by 20% for 3 turns when used in a character's third successfully executed skill chain. That is an insanely good memory. The art looks absolutely freaking ridiculously good. Oh man, if that's a skin in the future for Aizawa, I am here for it, by the way. The art team always killing it. And this time, I will say, the people who came up with the effects for this memory, great job. Looks good. I actually want this event memory. So this is the memory you're going to get from the event. You do want to farm it out. You want to get it fully DX'd, okay? Now, the thing is this memory going to have use to us? I have no clue. Because why does, used in a successfully executed skill chain matter? Well, that creates what are called technical hits. Okay, this memory can create 3 technical hits for you on its own, which is very good. Okay, but the only place technical hits matter is VE Tower. And if you're new to the game, you probably haven't seen a VE Tower because they haven't been putting them out. So the fact that they're giving us this memory leads me to believe maybe we'll get a new VE Tower on the horizon. But then even if we do, who knows when the next one after that will be. Right? So back to my complaint of not getting content. Like, this is a really good memory, but why does it matter to me if I don't have the content to use it on? So we'll see, but really good memory, really good art, really good effect. Definitely worth getting from the event. Next up, we have the new or first new summonable UR memory. It is called All Aboard the Steam Train. Increases character's power by 50% when character has piercing shot. After 1 turn passes while character has piercing shot, cancels 2 of the character's temporary status elements. After 2 turns pass while character has piercing shot, increases character skill impact by 20% for 2 turns. That could actually be pretty good on Fantasy Sue as well. So not a bad memory. The only thing is it doesn't do anything with speed or stuff like that. So we'll see how that ends up working out. But piercing shot being stronger with extra 50% power, pretty good. Art team, once again, we got Ida in the background as the conductor. I love the characters they put in the background. Those are the sick costumes, I like the front ones too. They're okay, but the background costumes of Aizawa and Ito, those are absolutely sick in my opinion. Now, not all of these characters are guaranteed to come as steampunk characters, but the characters I pointed out, I really hope they do. I really hope they do, because there were some really cool celebration characters last year in the arts, like Mineta and Mina and stuff like that. And then they gave us Todoroki in a suit, and it was so lame, and he wasn't even very good. in my opinion. Okay, so you may disagree. He may be the best character on your roster, but you know, I hope they do some of these cooler costumes. We'll have to see this year what they end up doing. But yeah, that is the first memory. Let's take a look at the second one. The second memory is called Quick Repairs. Increases character's critical hit rate by 30% when equipped by an ABL type character. When character has the ability to overwhelm, increases character's critical skill impact by 70% for 5 turns. Regenerates character's HP by 10% for 5 turns. Restores character's damage taken by 10% for 5 turns, and increases max HP by 10% for 5 turns. That's a pretty good memory when it comes to healing, and it also gives crit hit rate as well as an increased skill impact of 70%. Like, that 70% is not to be underestimated. For 5 turns, that's kind of good. That's actually really good. So that's going to make for 5 turns a really hard-hitting character. And then there's the art with Bakugo and Deku. I actually really like this art. Both characters look sick. Now we finally get into the really good stuff. We get to take a look at Bakugo and Deku's kits, and then after that we will take a look at All Might, Bakugo, and Deku's plus ultras. Okay, so starting with the new Deku, Steampunk Izuku Midoriya. His arts here, you can see them. Oh, I really like the Awaken art. The Awaken art looks good. Looks way better than All Might's arts. All Might's arts were just not it. Okay, plus ultra move is called Steam Smash. Deals 700% damage to a single opponent and cancels 3 of their temporary buffs. Also increases character's plus ultra move skill impact by 10%, which is stackable. That is so cool that we have stackable skill impact, but why the crap do I need it? We never make it past like turn 8 in a battle. Maybe for maybe the new Climax battle because he's purple. That'd be the only place we use it. Stackable units. I have complaints. We need long form content where we can actually stack and make use of it. Anyways, action skill number 1, is going to be called Detroit Smash. Deals 400% damage to a single opponent, increases plus ultra gauge of all allies by 20%, and plus ultra move skill impact by 45% for 4 turns. Cooldown time of 4. Okay, pretty like simple effects here. I bet you his auto skills go crazy though, so we'll see. But single target attack, gives plus ultra gauge, gives skill impact. Pretty straightforward. Action skill 2, both 4-turn cooldowns by the way, pretty decent. St. Louis Smash deals 400% damage to a single opponent and decreases their skill impact by 40% for 3 turns. Gives character the ability to make a last stand 2 times. Fine, I guess. I don't really like giving a last stand on an action skill. I would prefer it on an auto skill, but like, it's okay, I suppose. It's not these don't look super crazy. These are very, very gutted. Please don't be another Deku that's just like lame. I don't know. We'll see. Auto skill 1, Studying Hard, gives character piercing shot and immunity to max HP down, and increases character's plus ultra effect by 70%. Okay, that part. Okay, now I see. So they're trying to make a nuke. They are trying to make a nuke out of this character, but the thing is, we have a damage cap of 99,999. So you're getting 770% damage, plus an extra 10% plus ultra move skill impact, stackable each time you use it. But why does it matter? We hit a damage cap. I don't understand. Okay, anyways, auto skill 2, Fast Learner. If character does not initiate a critical attack 1 time, reduces character's cooldown time by 1. So you actually don't want to hit crits to lower your cooldowns. Increases power by 5%, which is stackable. And increases skill impact by 5%, which is stackable. So that's whenever you do not land a critical attack, you're going to be getting cooldown time, and you're going to be increasing your power and skill impact, so it gets stronger. So don't land crits with this character. When character receives 1 non-critical attack, increases max HP by 5%, up to 20 times. And increases defense by 2%, up to 20 times. So he can be tanky and have a lot of health over time. But at the start of battle, if anyone's smart, he's going to be squishy and killable because he doesn't get his last stands until he uses his skill 2. And he doesn't have that extra max HP and defense until he's been hit by a certain amount of non-critical attacks. So this is very much a late game scaling character who will only be good in the All Might Climax battle. From my understanding. That's the way I see it. Okay? I could be wrong. He could be really good in PvP, but there is nothing here for speed. Okay? And you need speed in PvP still to this day. So I don't know. I don't know. This is actually this is the biggest letdown I think I've seen so far. And I'm not even trying to be negative. I swear I'm not. I wanted Deku to be good. This ain't it. What are they doing? I don't know. If enough of us are annoyed by it, speak out. Twitter, comments, whatever. If you don't care, if it's not a big deal to you, if you think he's going to be good, then don't say anything. But that's your opinion, and this is mine. So I'm not a fan. At least on paper, I'm not. Maybe when we get him in game, maybe I'll be more hyped about it. Maybe I'll think he's good. I don't know. We'll have to see. We will have to see. Let's take a look at Bakugo. Hopefully, Bakugo is the saving grace, and he's really, really good. Okay, so Bakugo is a blue ABL type character. He is not designed for the Climax battle. So I feel like, and just looking at these skills, look at this. There's so much more here. Okay, click for arts. His arts look good. Awakened art team, always going it. Good job to the art team. Like, shout out to you guys. You are the saving grace for My Hero Ultra Impact right now. The plus ultra move is called Steam Impact. Deals 650% damage to a single opponent. Medium chance of blocking a single opponent's buffs for 3 turns when character's nitro count is below 7. So we're doing this count thing again. Blocks a single opponent's buffs for 3 turns when character's nitro count is 7 or higher. Okay, so he has a medium chance when it's below, a guaranteed when it's 7 or higher. This effect cannot be nullified or canceled. When character's nitro count is 7 or higher, character's nitro count is reduced by 3 when you use this skill, and increases this skill's skill impact by 60%. Also, this skill gains Bullseye, which I would argue is better than Pierce right now because no one's using barriers. So that's actually good. That's really good for PvP. Action skill 1, Crash Burst. Deals 300% damage to all opponents, AoE, good for PvP. Increases character's power by 9% for 5 turns. When character's nitro count is 5 or higher, increases character's skill impact by 9% for 5 turns, and this skill gains Bullseye. Increases this character's speed by 9% for 5 turns, when character's nitro count is 7 or higher. Character's nitro count increases by 1 when character's nitro count is below 10. Nice, so whenever you use the skill, you just increase it. He also gets speed off this, he also gets skill impact and power. Not bad, and it's an AoE. Action skill 2, Upper Blast, deals 400% damage to a single opponent, increases skill impact of all allies by 9% for 5 turns. Increases critical hit rate of all allies by 9% for 5 turns when character's nitro count is 5 or higher. Increases critical skill impact of all allies by 9% for 5 turns when character's nitro count is 7 or higher. Character's nitro count increases by 1 when character's nitro count is below 10. Increases the skill impact by 45% when nitro count is 5 or higher. So good support for the team right there. And it does damage. And it increases his own skill impact. I like that. Okay, so far, Bakugo's looking very good. He's looking like the one to pull for. Auto skill 1, Making Nitro. Character's nitro count increases by 5 up to 1 time. Increases character's plus ultra effect by 10% for every 1 nitro count. So at the start of battle, you get 5. And then for every nitro count, you get extra 10% damage, I think, when it says plus ultra effect by 10%. Extra 10% damage. If I'm understanding that part right, I might have been wrong before when I talked about it. I think that's what it means, though. By 10% for every 1 nitro count. So an extra 50% damage on your plus ultra could be halfway decent. Okay, maybe. And then, where were we at? Increases character's critical hit rate by 30% when character's nitro count is 3 or higher. Pretty easy to achieve. Increases character's max HP by 30% when character's nitro count is 5 or higher. So at the start of battle, he has an extra 30% HP. Good. Gives character the ability to overwhelm when character's nitro count is 7 or higher, giving him more damage. Increases character's critical hit rate by 70% when nitro count is 10 or higher. Okay, that could be really, really good. But that would mean you have to basically try not to use your plus ultra because that will remove. That's like the only thing that removes your nitro count from what I'm seeing so far. So you would have to try to avoid using his plus ultra. Okay, interesting. His auto skill 2, Strength to Face the World, decreases the skill impact of all opponents by 30% for 3 turns when an opponent receives cooldown time reduction 1 time. So if they try to reduce their cooldown at all, they also lose skill impact. That's insanely good. That's insanely good. Decreases cooldown time of all allies by 1 when an opponent receives cooldown time reduction 1 time. Yo, so you don't even have to have cooldown reduction characters on your team anymore if you have this character. Because every time they reduce their cooldowns, you now reduce yours. That's sick. Okay. Up to 2 times. Well, up to 2 times. Okay, there's no limit on it, but still, that's good. Increases cooldown time of all opponents by 1 when an ally receives cooldown time extension 1 time, up to 2 times. And that's only available in Arena and Club Festival. Makes sense. Increases plus Ultra Gauge of all allies by 30% when an ally receives cooldown time extension 1 time. Okay. Okay. I like Bakugo. He's the one to pull for, my opinion. He'll be good in both PvE and PvP. He'll be good in both. Deku, I think he'll only be good in the Climax battle. That's just my opinion. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Let's take a look at all the plus ultras. We are going to start with All Might. He was the first one we went over, so we're going to go over his plus ultra animation first. Climax battle character, his arts didn't impress me too much. His kit didn't impress me too much. Let's see if the plus ultra animation does. Alright, so we got at least a custom background. It's not just a black background. He does a drop kick, apparently. And then a smash. Okay. I mean, it's not terrible. It's just so, like, can we make free characters halfway decent, you know? Like, I don't know. Make them... We're grinding out Climax battle. Make it worth grinding for, right? Make me want to grind for this character. It's not terrible. I put it maybe a little bit above the other free-to-play Yellow All Might. I don't know. It's not great. Maybe I'm just salty. I don't know. Let me know if I'm just salty. But it's okay. It's okay. I can't... I'm just not super hyped about this. Like, the drop kick is cool. I feel like we could do a lot more, though. Like, if we got the Nomu scene, you know, where All Might's throwing around Nomu or something, that All Might, that version, I'd be there for it. I'd be there for it. The USJ All Might, that would be sick. Where's he at? Where's that All Might? So, I don't know. I don't know. Climax Battle All Might's kind of meh, my opinion, but let's hope the steampunk characters are sick. Next up, we have Steampunk Deku. It is a longer animation, 21 seconds. He's already doing his stretches. He's got the pipe in his hand. Very custom background, right? So hopefully it should be good. And it looks like it's going to be good. They typically do a pretty good job with the Impact Fest, like art and animations and stuff like that. And once again, art team, typically always killing it. Okay, looks pretty good. Okay, you know what? It's not too bad. That was a... Okay, that was a little weird. We gonna talk... Okay, hold... Guys, okay, watch this. That... What were they thinking? What were they thinking with that? What? What just happened? I'm not even gonna explain what I just saw there, but you got... This is good. This is fine. This is okay. That might have just made my day right there, seeing what Deku just did to that pipe. That was... Deku's doing some stuff to that pipe, right? Oh my gosh, what did they do? Do they see what they're doing when they... I'm at a loss. Okay, we're moving on. We're moving on to Bakugo. All right, last but not least, we have Bakugo. His animation is actually longer than Deku's too, so they might have put in a little bit more work on him. We'll see. Okay, he looks absolutely sick walking up. He's got the goggles and everything. He actually like touches them and makes use of them. He's got the wrench. Yo, and he throws the wrench. Bakugo is so much more hype. Yo, he looks so much... Yo! Bakugo looks so much better than Deku. Dude, they just shafted Deku on this anniversary. Holy crap, Bakugo is the character to go for. Kit-wise, animation-wise. Deku's kind of funny, but Bakugo is freaking sick, man. Okay, this is the best part of the entire video right here, in my opinion. I love this. I love that. That was absolutely sick. Okay, Bakugo. That's good job with that one. Good job with that one. I'll give you the kudos on that one. The rest of the stuff I mentioned, fix it, please. But there we go. Oh my god, that was sick. That was absolutely sick. Guys, we covered a lot today. Okay, there was just a lot of good stuff, right? And a lot of bad at the same time. I try to give it both, all to you, you know, give you both the good and the bad side of things. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to be one of those people who's like, this game's great. I play it. Watch me. You know, I want to give you all the information. So there we go. That's kind of how I'm feeling about it. We won't know until we get them in the game. Granted, they drop in a day, so we'll find out. I'll give you guys my review of them. We'll try the summons. I'll give you my review of the new set banner, if it's good or bad. You'll obviously see based on the luck I get. But yeah, good luck on your summons if you do choose to summon. Once again, recommend trying to get Bakugo, but they're both on the same banner, so you don't really have a choice. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.